Hi, good morning everyone. Patrice Juandono here. Today I'd like to talk about leadership. Of course, leadership is not only important in, for example, military or education, but also in business. So in order for a business to succeed, it needs a very capable and a good leader. And today I'm going to discuss what good leadership is. Okay, let's dive into my PowerPoint slides. So that's the topic for today, effective leadership. So these are the characteristics of an effective leader. First of all, you have to develop a vision. You have to have a vision. In other words, you have to know what your ultimate goal is, what your objective is. In the long run, you'll have to imagine what kind of business your company will be. And that is actually number two as well. Yeah, it begins with the end of mind, in mind, which means that you imagine yourself or your company to be what it wants, what kind of company it wants to be in 5 or 10 years or even 20 years later. Yeah, so that you begin with that kind of imagination in your mind. In other words, you are setting your vision that your company or your business wants to achieve. Yeah. So that's number one. And number two, you have to have a vision. And then number three is, of course, after you set your vision, you have to influence others. You have to influence your people. You have to influence your employees. You have to influence your staff to attain the objective, to attain the vision. You have to have the capability to make them believe in you and follow your steps toward achieving the vision. And number four, that is followed by number four, which is the ability to make change happen. You've got to have the power to make change happen. If now your business is only small, occupies a rented space, yeah, with only 2 or 3 employees, with not so much profit, you have to change this. And you have to ask your followers, influence them so that they can bring about the change with you. By collaborating with you, by your leadership, you'll have to change the situation into improved situation, improved sales, increased profit, yeah, more keenly felt or more a stronger presence in the business world. Yeah. So you have to change for the better direction. And then, of course, number five is throughout the struggle, of course, occasionally you and your people feel tired. That's very human, yeah. But then you have to maintain your energy level. You have to be sensitive to your people's energy level, and you have to keep up their motivation. You have to train them. You have to make them tolerate stress. Yeah. Number six is in accordance or in the spirit of number five, you have to keep up the motivation throughout the journey. You have to be a good motivator for your people, for your staff. In the hard time, when times are trying and sales are low, you still have to keep them motivated. Yeah. Of course, and lastly, of course, you have to have your own self-confidence before you can convince others. And so self-confidence is very important for you to have, because once you are confident in yourself, you believe in yourself, you believe in your strength, then you can make others follow you. You can change other people toward a better direction. You can motivate them better because they see the model in you. Okay? Yeah, so this is taken from Watchstar. That's the source. Now let me continue with another one. Leadership, what makes a leader effective? Second one is being participative. Participative means that you have to have a direct experience with your people. You cannot just stand apart and observe them from a distance, yeah? But you have to involve yourself in their daily work. You have to participate in the solutions that they are trying to make. You have to know their problems, their struggles, and you have to participate in finding a better way or finding the solutions. Yeah. And that goes along with number 2, which is team-oriented. Team-oriented means that you are oriented to your team. That sometimes translates into lowering your ego. Sometimes when you come to a meeting, you think that your opinion must be right, but then it turns out that other people have better opinions. And so you have to let down your ego a bit. You have to accept other people's opinions too, or at least consider them seriously. Yeah, because you are oriented to a team, not to yourself, not to your ego, but to the success of the team. Yeah. Number 3 is charismatic. Charismatic, well, there is a lot of definitions about charisma, but simply said, being charismatic means that you can influence other people. The moment you are present among them, they can feel your presence and they can begin working for a better direction. They can begin motivating themselves. They feel motivated by your presence. That's charisma. So if you can establish this, it's even better, because even without saying too many words, without making a long speech, people will feel your charisma and people will be motivated to be better, to work harder. Yeah. And number 4 is a humane-oriented. That's very humane, of course. Yeah, you have to orient yourself toward being human. That means you cannot be too tough on your employees. Somehow you have to exercise tact in the way you approach them, the way you punish them for their mistakes, the way you train them to be better employees. Yeah. So that is what humane-oriented means. Yeah. And then, of course, these 4 are better than this one. Yeah. So you do not want to be hierarchical. If you are hierarchical, that means that you emphasize social ranks, you emphasize seniority. People are afraid to talk to you or to question your opinions because they think that you are superior, you are the senior. They cannot argue against your opinions, and that's not healthy for a good company. Yeah. You have to listen to them, you have to consider their opinions, and you are willing to come up to a better solution by considering their opinions as well. You have to be able to have all ears on them. Yeah, you do, and you do not restrict yourself to this seniority and social ranks, because that will shut down communication, and that's not healthy. Also autonomous, working independently. Well, I know that some people prefer working alone, and they are more effective when they are left alone doing their own responsibility. But somehow, in these modern times, people need to cooperate with other people. Well, at least if you don't feel like getting along with a large team, you can still have your own space and work there, but make sure that you are also willing to listen to other people. Make sure that you are also willing to speak to them and consider their opinions and work together with them to achieve a certain goal. Yeah. The next one is effective leadership. Means the autocratic leadership is now out of fashion. People do not exercise autocratic leadership because it's not effective. Yeah. And situational leadership is in. Means that you have to know the situation your employees find themselves in. You have to be sensitive to the situation that the company is facing. and you have to participate in that. Yeah. There are types of leaders. Of course, all of us will fall into each of these categories. Yeah, there are telling or instructing leaders, there are selling leaders, there are participating leaders, and there are delegating leaders. Of course, they have their own weaknesses and strengths, but being one of them should not keep you from exercising or practicing effective leadership, as I have just explained in the previous slides. Yeah. So good leaders accept feedback, they listen well to their people, they delegate the task to others with the goal of developing others and spreading responsibilities more evenly. Yes, this is also a skill in leadership. When you believe in your employees, you can delegate the task to them. It means that you trust them and you want to develop them and you want to train them to be more responsible for every decision or for every step that they take. Okay, yeah. This can be a task that you can consider doing. So get into a simulation where every student act as a leader of the class. And then you share your vision, you share your goal, and you get the rest of the class follow your steps or follow your direction. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I hope this is useful for you, and be a good leader. Good luck. See you again in my next episode. Goodbye.